One of the important boards that we have as well is the Board of Pension and Health Benefits, and our board has been working very diligently in times of change and turmoil to bring us our very best benefits available and to clarify things, and have just been doing an outstanding job. I want to call on Sarah Thornhill, who's the chair of that board, and Joe Holt, who is our CBO, to come now for your presentation.
Good morning, everybody, and I just want to thank Bishop Nunn again for this opportunity to serve the conference and to be here today. First off, as you can tell, we're going to do age before beauty, and so I'm going to talk about a few clarifying things, and I will not sing. The first thing, I wanted to make sure everybody knew, because when I first came on, I heard that the pension side of things was the biggest worry for the retirees, but then I learned that it was really the retiree stipend. So for annual conference, I want to make sure everybody knows that we signed a lot of checks last week, and they're here for y'all to pick up, and we are cheap accountants. We're not going to mail them out, but my good pal Wayne is back here in a locker room hanging out on the west side in the west wing, so if y'all make sure to get by and visit him and pick up the checks, we'd greatly appreciate it. The next thing I want to point out that so we had two people who serve us incredibly well from Westpath bravely come in from Chicago. They're hanging out over here in the bullpen area, or maybe a penalty area. So they'll be here through the remainder of conference, so feel free to spend time with them as you may need to. And then the final thing I've got for today is, being on the accounting side too, we had an omission of a number. So I want to make sure you know that for our report, it is in report number 2. It is item 3B relating to two-party coverage, and the number which was there and disappeared was $11,508. So that will complete the report that Sarah is now going to be talking about. And I also want to make sure that we recognize Gary Sharon, the head of our HR department, who does an incredible job. And even though we lost Allie this year, we've got Maddie in her stead, and she's going to be a great asset for us. But Gary does amazing work for everybody, and definitely make sure you thank him. And now I'll turn it over to our chair, Miss Sarah.
Thank you, Joe. Bishop and members of the annual conference, you can find our reports in the pre-conference workbook on pages 83 through 91. These recommendations will need a vote, and I'll offer my 3 reports, then we can take our vote. What a joy it is to be with you in person. This extrovert's heart rejoices to be able to see everyone and be together. I'm honored to report on behalf of the Board of Pensions, the team that offers focused and faithful work to care for those who serve. The members of the board, as well as the conference staff members who offer their incredible talents, all provide a wealth of knowledge and insights for this work, and I'm thankful for them. Pastor's well-being is a major focus of this group, and I'm yet to hear a pastor say of the past 2 years, "That was great, good times. This is really good. I feel refueled. I'm fantastic." If you do feel that way, I'd love to hear from you. And what are you doing? Rather, the folks that I hear from speak of the great weariness that came from decision fatigue, navigating unknown terrain, and the lack of connection. Our souls are weary. So to aid in pastors' ability to find Sabbath rest, the board will be offering grants to clergy under appointment on a first-come basis. In addition to $50 of personal funds that we request you put towards the effort, the grant is for up to $250 towards lodging, travel, food, or registration. Because we all rest in different ways, some of us reset in silence, some of us feel restored when we're around others. The board isn't dictating exactly what you do, but rather that you demonstrate a plan for Sabbath that restores your soul. Because many do prefer a format where they don't have to schedule as much themselves, we are working on a retreat for late summer, early fall at Camp Canyon. Or maybe a stay at the Abbey in Tulsa would serve you. Or maybe renting a cabin with clergy friends would help you rest in God. Our prayer is that these grants facilitate time for clergy to rest in God. Please look for the grant application on the conference website in the next few weeks. Now on to the reports. Report 1, pension plan and pension liabilities, the past service, annuity rate, and funding. Past service is the service rendered prior to January 1st, 1982 by ordained clergy members and full-time local pastors, which has been approved for pension credit. Funding for the past service pension credit is provided by income from pension endowment funds and the pension fund crusade account. The resolution recommended by the board calls for the past service rate, or the PSR, to be set at $741, which continues a trend of a 2% yearly increase. Report 2, active health plans for clergy and lay staff. The board is asking for affirmation to continue the agreement with HealthFlex to provide our health plans for 2023. The report provides a summary of the health, dental, and vision plans that are recommended for 2023. The plans will utilize the same Blue Cross Blue Shield networks, and the essential features of the plans are unchanged. The plan received a very small increase for the 2023 plans of 3%, and the board recommends the increase is shared equally between the direct bill to the church, which has not received an increase since 2018, and participants. And Report 3, retiree health benefits. The board recommends the continuation of the HRA subsidy funded through the Retired Clergy Health Fund apportionment. The apportionment will remain funded at the same level, $1.3 million. The subsidy will be funded on the same level for participants according to the chart based on years of service in the report. Now I have this part in bold. This benefit is not guaranteed into the future. Rather, it is approved by y'all each year at annual conference. With the great changes ahead, I am part of a task force with other wise leaders whose charge it is to determine the best way to proceed with this benefit. For this year, for 2023, again, the board recommends that we continue with the structure based on years of service in the report and the funding level of $1.3 million. It is recommended that VIA Benefit continues as the vendor to administrate the HRA for our retirees. This concludes the Board of Pensions report, Bishop, and we're ready for the vote.
Thank you. And the motion to approve reports number 1, 2, and 3 comes from the board and is properly before us. You'll need to be in the bar to be able to vote. Is there discussion? Are you ready to vote? Those who would approve reports number 1, 2, and 3, would you say aye? Aye. Those opposed, say no. And those who abstain, say aye. The motion passes. Thank you.